You don't need a perfect life to feel grateful. In fact, the messier life is, the more powerful gratitude can be in your life. So let's talk about how to tap into that power a little bit today. My name's Leslie Christine, and I'm an emotional healing and metapsychology coach. And gratitude has been one of the most powerful practices that I've ever put into play in my own life. I have always experienced gratitude, especially when life is going really well. But I have also found that when life is going particularly not well, gratitude is where I go. And in one instance, when we had the flood, that was one where I really noticed it. In the midst of water coming into my home and me running my stuff up the stairs, I felt grateful. I felt grateful that we had a second floor, that my kids could be on the second floor while we took things upstairs. Grateful that we had a second floor at all to take things to. If we had only had a one-story house and there was water coming into it, like what would we have done? We would have had to choose to leave and go somewhere, but also would we have been able to drive? Like, I don't know. So I can't even imagine having had to make that decision in that moment. And I'm so grateful that I didn't have to make that decision in that moment, that instead I had a second floor and I could do my best to save the things that I wanted to save. So in the time that I was going through something that was one of the hardest things that I've ever gone through, I leaned on gratitude in that moment. It helped my feet move. It helped me continue to run up and down the stairs, even though I was out of breath and sweating and exhausted and just wanting the whole thing to be over and kind of terrified. Leaning on gratitude in that moment helps me move through that all. Then later in the pandemic, I was teaching meditation to little kids. So my kids were like I don't know, 5 to like 13-ish or so. And I had meditation classes every day, a couple times a day. So I was spending time every day throughout the pandemic with kids. And these kids were scared. They didn't understand what was going on. Some of them, the news was on all the time at their house, and there was nothing that they could do to stop it because they didn't have that control. It was up to the parents, the adults in their household, to determine whether the news was on or not, and they couldn't turn it off. You know, at least as adults, we have that power to say, I know this isn't good for me. I'm going to turn it off. There was nothing I could do to make their parents turn off the news. And some of them told me it was on 24/7 all the time, and they were so scared. So, knowing that there was so much fear going on, I decided that we were going to start every class with expressing gratitude for something. Let's find something that we can be grateful for. So for some of them, it might have been like, I got to talk to my friend on the phone. I'm getting to play lots of video games. They were so focused on all of the things that were different and that they didn't get to do and the things that were scary that I had to shift that focus for them away from the things that were scary and into seeing what's still okay, right? Because things were still okay. And when you have running water and you have electricity, you have things to be grateful for. For a little kid, though, that's not a very exciting thing to be grateful for, but we did talk about it. We talked about it regularly. Like, imagine if your power did go out right now. Like, that would be worse. So let's be grateful that that's not happening. When you have gratitude for things, you cannot at the same time hold a great amount of fear. The gratitude throws the balance off of the fear, right? Now, it's one thing to just be like, oh, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for this. And meanwhile, internally, you are terrified about all kinds of other things. And that's where your mind is. You're not truly expressing gratitude by just saying things like that. You've got to get into really feeling it. And so sit with it in your meditation, right? What are all the things that we can be grateful for? One of the practices, though, that I put into place that was the most powerful was a daily gratitude practice that began my day and that ended my day. Literally, when I woke up in the morning, I would start rattling off the things that I was grateful for. I'm grateful for this comfy bed. It feels so good. Oh, I'm waking up and I'm like cozy, and that's so nice. And I'm grateful for the day ahead. And I would start thinking about all the things that I was going to do in the day ahead and how I can set them up in advance for to be grateful for them, right? Like it's going to go well and it's going to be great when we do this, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the time that I have. And throughout the day, I am regularly thinking in gratitude. So whenever I'm having a delicious coffee or tea or something, I'm like, ooh, this is so good. I'm so grateful for this coffee or this tea right now because it tastes so good. And I'll go outside and walk in my yard and I'm like, oh, look at the bees. Oh, I love these bees. And I'm so grateful for the bees that are here. And then we have these beautiful flowers that they can come and nourish themselves off of our flowers. And I get to enjoy both the flowers and the bees. And, there are so many things in life that all around us, all the time, that we can be grateful for. And yet sometimes we get stuck in the things that we're worried about, right? We've talked about worry before. We get stuck in those worried things, and then we're not paying attention to what's actually right around us all the time. I have this maple tree right outside my window that I love. I've gotten to watch it grow over the last few years. And right now, the tips of the leaves are starting to turn red, and it is the most beautiful maple in our neighborhood. It turns red slowly and this most beautiful colors, and I just love it. It doesn't lose its leaves quickly. It loses them really slowly. And so every day I spend time appreciating this maple tree and like feeling grateful that that is what I get to look at every day from my window. Even though I would love to have a piece of property of my own and to have a different view out my window, I am so grateful for that one. I think sometimes that's a place that people get a little bit tripped up as they feel like, well, if I'm grateful for this, then what about all the things that I want that are different than this? You can be grateful for the situation that you have right now, even when you want it to change. And I think that it's better to do it that way, right? Be grateful for the car that you have, even if you want a different car, even if you want a nicer car. Be grateful for the house that you have, even if you want a different house, right? And I think sometimes people kind of feel like, oh, I shouldn't be grateful for the thing that I actually want to change. But I think when we start to shift our mindset and find gratitude for those things, even the things that we want to change, it helps us. I don't know quite how to say it. It helps us bring about those other situations even more. Like if you can be grateful for this, then you get more. I'm not sure I can explain it quite how I want to, but I think that when we're grateful for what we have, we will more easily receive more. There is something about the attitude of gratitude within you that like puts you into a different flow of life for things that you want to happen and for things to come in. There is an openness about it that's really beautiful. And so I take it around with me all the time. It's a feeling. That's what you got to get is it's a feeling. It's not just saying I'm grateful. It's not just repeating some words. It's the feeling is the important part of it. And so at night, I will lay in bed and go throughout my day and think of all the things that I'm grateful for from the day. And for a long time, I just also had that list of things. So if you can't find a specific thing from your day that you're grateful for, you can still go through the list of things that you're grateful for and be super grateful for them. I'm so grateful for the electricity in my house. I'm so grateful for the water that comes from the pop faucet. Even in the challenges, you can still find things to feel grateful for. right? And so many people in the challenges will look at the challenge that's happening and they will find all the things that it's the worst possible thing for. All of them are true. At the same time, all of them are true. Certain ones that I can focus on will make me feel better. Other ones that I could focus on will make me feel worse. None of the things that I can focus on will actually change the situation. So you choose your focus. And when you focus on feeling gratitude and having an attitude of appreciation for the way that things are going right, you have more resilience to move through the challenges and get them taken care of. Sometimes when things are happening, we go into this big, long story of how awful it's going to be. And we make it seem worse than it actually is. And then in the end, it's actually no big deal. So why not start with an attitude of this is no big deal and cross the bridge as we come to it? We take one step at a time through the challenge until we get to the end of it. But having gratitude is a way to move through those challenges more easily. The more that I have paid attention and practiced gratitude in my life, the more that I have noticed it, the more I've noticed the little things, the more I feel grateful for things in my life, the more things in my life I have to feel grateful for. Once you get going, you can really start going, right? You can find so many things to be grateful for, but don't just da 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 list it out without feeling it fully. I want you to reflect today on what's something that you can be grateful for right now. Even if it's as simple as this cup of tea is delicious. I love feeling the warmth of the mug in my hand. Even if it's look at that beautiful tree. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Notice the little things. They will make your life so much better. They really will. And I'd love to hear, what are you grateful for in your life right now? Drop it in the comments. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This was day 14 of my 30 days of YouTube challenge. I am almost halfway through and I'm learning lots. So I appreciate you being here. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.